Hi everybody, my name is Scott Talarita. I am the CTO with OnPeak, and I'm here today to show you a brand new product that we have developed for Reed Exhibitions, lovingly called Pavilion Manager. I would not be surprised if that name changes. It's a little bit self-evident, but it is the stated purpose of this project, which is to help with the confusion, noise, and rather disorganization surrounding international pavilions at Reed shows. This is a process that's taken about 2 years now, from the first conversation to the product that I'm going to show you today, which is an attempt to simplify a very, very noisy process and hopefully also position the vendor services more directly to these international exhibitors. So I'm going to jump right in and we're going to do this very, very quickly. Time is of essence today. So let's get into the app. Okay, what you're seeing here is the show manager entry point into the pavilion system. This would be used by a Reed employee to actually create pavilions. And what we're going to do for this demo is take a real show, Western Food Service, create a pavilion for it, share that pavilion out with an agent, and then show you how that agent then would invite exhibitors into those booths. So let me log in very quickly here. So the main pavilion screen, you can see here very quickly that I actually don't have any pavilions created in the system. You know, it's a new system. There really isn't anything, any data in it as of yet. There's a lot of help text around, scattered around, but we're not going to get into that. Again, the point is for this to be as simple as possible for any user entering this. We shouldn't need really much support at all. So we're going to create a Spanish pavilion for Western Food, and that is down here, Western Food Service. Important to note that the available shows are shows that are being served by OnPeak's Compass reservation system. Those are the shows that will be available to be used in the system, and they have to be in the future. Obviously, if you're sharing booths, the event needs to be in the future. So let's create this Spanish pavilion. And we're going to quickly get to this distribution screen, which says, okay, we're working in the Spanish pavilion now. Now the pavilion obviously wraps a number of booths. So let's first say which agent we're going to share with. We'll just say Acme Agency. I'm going to use one of my emails so that I can get the email and show you in the demo. And I'm going to use some real booths that are actually on the show floor for food service, 1825. And oh, that's the hall. So you can actually attribute to a hall number if necessary. And we'll just say it's 150 square feet. And we will add another booth. We'll add 2201, and we'll say that's 250. And we're going to share the booths inside of this pavilion with Acme. And what's going to happen now is that the Acme contact, in this case my email, is going to get a notification that booths have been shared with you to manage. And they would then go out and share those booths with exhibitors. So it's a little bit like social networking. At least it behaves very much like social networking. But the most important thing is simple tools. And here now we see the summary of what we've done. We've shared out 2201 and 1825 to Acme. And as you can see, 0 exhibitors there. No action yet, but they haven't even received the email at this point. So what we're going to do is go out to my email and see what happens when Acme comes in. So here's the email. And it says, hey, you've been shared some booths for Western Food Service and Hospitality Expo. Log in. Now this is a new user, so it's going to say, hey, you're new to the system, create a password. I'm going to do that. And this is, again, the exact experience that the agent would have. So we say, hey, I have a Spanish pavilion shared with me for Western Food Service and Hospitality. I have 2 booths and 0 exhibitors. So I want to share this out with exhibitors to get them to the table. Now again, normally this process is done passing around a bunch of spreadsheets. And Dave Tobin's team manages all this hand-rolled data. So this is really a great simple substitute for that. So here's our 2 booths. So let's invite an exhibitor to 2201. And we'll say that this is going to be ACE exhibitors. And again, I'm going to use my own self just so we can see what happens with the email. And I'm going to share that booth with ACE. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So now ACE is going to get an invitation to come into 2201. So let's see what that looks like. Let's go back out to my email again. And here's the invitation to the exhibitor. It says, you have been invited by OnPeak's Pavilion Management System to assist with assigning exhibitors to your booth. And so as an exhibitor, I will log into this system. Same thing. First time in, create a password. And when an exhibitor, we're going to ask them some more information first, because this is one of the challenges that was put forth to me when we first discussed this, is that there's a lot of different systems in the Reed ecosystem, and it's very difficult to manage directory information from the standpoint of the exhibitor. So in order for them, it's a barrier of entry for the exhibitor. In order to use this system, they have to complete this profile, which is basically all the general information you would expect. Sounds very simple, but I walked the floor of coverings, and freight would come in for an exhibitor, and no one would have any idea where they were. So getting this information in a central point is going to be extremely valuable. And down the road, we're going to be gathering centralized exhibitor information that can be shared or integrated with other systems as need be. But once they update this, phone number, they're going to get in to see their booth. So here's their booth, booth 2201, Western Food Service and Hospitality. Put names in the booth is basically it's saying this is being managed by Acme, so they know on behalf of who this booth was sent to them. And just put in some people. Now this isn't actually inviting out the exhibitor. They're going to assume the exhibitor is managing its own people. And I can add people ad nauseum to this booth that are going to be there. Once I've done that, you're going to see now some new icons have lit up here. These are the integration icons for the Pavilion system. Now, 2 are gray and 2 are solid. And let me explain a little bit about that, because this is now where we can push the services to the exhibitors. This little guy is to show the booth on the show floor. Now, all things equal, this should fire up Map Your Show and show the show floor for Western Food. And there is the floor plan. Now, there's still some back and forth about the specific IDs to zero in on the booth, but there's not going to be any issue with getting that sorted out. But as you can see, you can quickly get to the show floor that's being used for the Reed event and see where 2201 is. These other guys are grayed out because the integration has not been configured for them in Pavilion, but that's going to be on a show-by-show basis, and it's very simple to do. Housing is going to be automatically integrated with OnPeak's Compass reservation system, so these exhibitor or the exhibiting manager here can jump over and book their group room right from this interface. And that's it. Now, so if we go back to the show manager interface, you've got a few things that we can do here. First of all, you're going to start seeing that we have 2 exhibitors now in 2201. So you're going to start to see this fill up. And you can also run a report that tells you everything that Dave Tobin's team gathered in those manual spreadsheets. They're going to be able to generate from this tool, run it in Excel, get it straight to a spreadsheet. So all these international agents circle around this app, get their exhibitors in, invite them to the table. Boom, you have this one little exportable spreadsheet that can be used to integrate with other systems or pass around what have you. There are some barriers to entry with Reed systems to integrate with them, so this is going to be probably the hook that will get us over that internal hurdle to get that data. Now, on the integration side, very quickly, and then we'll be done. We've tried to keep this as simple as possible too. This is a very quick overview of all the future Reed shows and what integration is actually configured properly in Pavilion Manager. You can see it's really quick. You can see that all the OnPeak is green, and CompuSystems, Map Your Show, and Freeman, of which are the accepted vendors in the system, have not been configured for these shows. Now down here, Western Food, I did actually set up Map Your Show. I'll show you how this works. It's very simple. Map Your Show wants a show ID. You simply have to put it in here, and that's what I understand from the vendors, something that Reed is already aware of. Same thing goes for Freeman. Freeman needs a show ID for their hook to work. And CompuSystems needs an event ID and a CSI site named, which is optional. Now, as we get deeper and we explore fancier integration, there's a really good chance that this area of the site will expand to potentially include the exhibitor ID and these sorts of things. There's some complex questions there about how far we can take this. But to get out of the gate, it's just a matter of plopping in these IDs, and once those IDs are there, those icons are going to light up for the exhibitor, and they're going to at least get over to the portal into that vendor service. So that's the quick operational overview of Pavilion Management. We're super excited about this app. It's really nice and clean and sexy, and hopefully you guys see as much potential as we do. Thank you so much for your time.